In other news, the African Critical Mineral Summit is taking place in Johannesburg to position the continent's mining sector towards renewable energy. Watching that story for us is SABC News reporter Katlego Legodi, who joins us now live from the gathering itself. Quite the name, this, Katlego. Help us locate where in the greater scheme of the many discussions we've had, the summit falls.
A very good morning to you, Ayanda, and to our viewers at home. Well, this is the second installment, I must say, of this Africa Critical Minerals Summit taking place here in South Africa, Johannesburg. Here we find various of those role players from different countries on the continent just coming together to talk about these critical minerals. You often hear people talking about how the continent, the country, South Africa, is endowed with these critical minerals. And we hear that there is a global demand as we speak right now for these minerals, as we are inching and everybody else is talking about the just energy, just transition. And this transition becomes very important where we see these minerals playing a pivotal role. Remember, last week we were with India here in the country, and they were talking about how they are looking at positioning themselves to really capitalize on these critical minerals on the continent. So here today we'll find various of those role players from the continent. The African Union is here, but really championed by the Department of Minerals that will be here as well, the DTIC here as well, to try by all means to speak to all of these ambassadors from the continent on all of these opportunities that lie within the critical minerals. Local beneficiation, the economies of the continent just coming under the spotlight here. And Malebogo is the one person that will just give us a sense of what we can expect in the coming 2 days. Really, these are exciting times because this, we are told, these African critical minerals are a gold as we speak right now, as we see everybody else inching towards the just energy transition. There is money there where this is concerned. Good morning, Malebogo. Welcome to the SABC.
Hi, Katlego. Thank you very much, Malebogo Mohape Matwai. Katlego, indeed, this is a sunrise moment for Africa in the sense that we are bequeathed with vast mineral resources. Critical mineral has now changed, the narrative around how Africa can exploit its mineral wealth in order to create secondary economies, primary economies for Africa. So we are well positioned to not be in the backbench as we were with previous minerals. We are at a point where we should capitalize over the value that critical mineral has and the critical importance that it will play in terms of powering the transition to just energy, which is not only looking at Africa, but it's a global, not even a phenomenon. That's where the global world is moving into, using sustainable electricity to ensure that the economies are run and that your key sectors such as health and education do benefit from that, and primarily the GDP of African nations as a collective.
There's a strategy because last year we were talking about this strategy that I guess will be with the Department of Minerals in terms of unlocking opportunities where this is concerned. This coming through at a time when we see that the focus has been around the Zama-Zamas and what has been happening, talks also around ensuring that we formalize artisanal mining. Are these some of the conversations that we can expect in the coming 2 days? And maybe give us a sense of where are we from last year in terms of just those plans, the strategies that were punted last year as we find ourselves here this year.
Katlego, I'm not going to be speaking on behalf of the department, but the one thing that I know department is already doing is to look into a comprehensive critical mineral strategy that the minister will communicate as soon as it has been launched. And in terms of artisanal mining, I remember from my days working at the Department of Minerals and Energy, one of the key focus of the department was on formalizing small-scale mining and artisanal mining. And unfortunately, due to legacy issues in terms of rehabilitation of lands that have previously been mined, that was not the case. The reason why we are where standing now is primarily because derelict mines were left, behind with nobody taking ownership in terms of its rehabilitation. Hence, it was very important when the MPRDA was enacted and revamped in 2002. Some of the key issues that you will remember that were emphasized in the MPRDA was to ensure that each and every mining application, being it a right or a permit, will be preceded by a guarantee amount of that, which a certain percent of which they would be mining. mining so that we take back the earth to its original, if not almost, through rehabilitation. And I believe that we are well positioned to be looking into this issue. Unfortunately, there's a lot of criminality that goes with that. But then going into the future, I think we are drawing learnings from this in terms of sustainable and responsible mining. If we address the issue concurrently of mining and rehabilitation, I don't think we'll be sitting with the legacy issues that we've had to inherit as an industry and that are actually facing the department and the security cluster as a whole.
What are the topics that you're going to be really thrashing out in the coming 2 days that are linked to some of the developments in various of these countries? I know that you have Namibia, you have Mozambique, the AU is here as well. What are some of the issues that you're going to be really thrashing out in terms of drawing lessons as we also look to the future?
Yeah, Katlego, there's been a wrong narrative in the past few days in terms of the role that platinum will continue to play. Platinum remains very critical as one of the critical minerals in the sense that with the movement from, your combustive engines, the world is currently now moving over to a battery economy. So critical minerals and your PGM, under which the platinum group falls, will be very important and is very key. But then also South Africa is very much endowed with what we call earth minerals, but then you also have many deposits of lithium, for instance, and then rhodium and palladium as well. So the time is now for Africa to actually unlock this value, and we have an opportunity. We're calling upon investors that will come to invest in South Africa for us to take through the exploration. One of the most exciting things is that at the beginning of the year, around February, Minister Gwede Mantashe made an announcement that the department has secured through funding development funders the exploration of mining activities, which the banks, your mainstream banks, do not find very attractive, and they take it as a risk. So the government has taken that risk away from your mining companies that are coming into the whole sphere in terms of ensuring that there's thorough exploration. But then also we're working very closely with your Council for Geoscience, which obviously do have vast amounts of geographic maps that actually leads to where these critical minerals are found. So we are positioned as South Africa. If you would recall at the beginning of the year, one of the other things that Minister Mohape spent his time on was the importance of the battery economy. And for the battery economy to be successful, you would need your PGM and your rare earth minerals, which South Africa has got. All that we need to do is to formalize this and ensure that we get the right participants, but then also that South Africa will share from the mineral wealth that these possesses.
Malebogo, thank you very much for your time. Malebogo coming through here, just giving us a sense of what we can expect in the coming 2 days. And we see various of those role players, Ayanda, starting to arrive here. And we'll really, as we go along into the day, speak to some of them and get lessons from your Namibia, from your Mozambique. How are they doing it? Local beneficiation, the economies, how are they benefiting already from all of these developments and talks here? But this really in its second installment, and we'll be expecting to also find out from the department in terms of where is that framework? How are they actually pushing to ensure that they formalize, especially the artisanal mining in the country, looking at the challenges that we've had with Zamazama? Sayanda?
Katlego Legodi is live to us there from Johannesburg for that report. And Katlego, thanks very much indeed. All right, plenty still ahead for you here on the agenda. When we come back, we take you to the northwest, the latest on the Stilfontein standoff in a moment.